people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. Albert Einstein. Have you ever been so deeply hurt by someone that all you could think about was striking back? Maybe it was betrayal, or a cruel word spoken when you were already at your lowest, or someone who walked away right when you needed them the most. And in that moment, it felt like the only way to protect yourself was to fight, to say something back, to make them feel even a fraction of the pain they caused you. But Einstein, a man known for his mind, left us a truth, not about physics, but about emotional strength. That revenge is not strength. That forgiveness is not weakness. And that sometimes the most intelligent response is no response at all. He wasn't telling us to be passive or silent out of fear. He was offering a deeper way of living, where you don't let someone else's behavior control your peace. This quote is like a mirror. It shows us 3 levels of reaction. Revenge, which feels powerful, but keeps us chained to the wound. Forgiveness, which takes real emotional courage, not for them, but for our own healing. And then, a higher form of wisdom. The ability to see that some things aren't even worth our energy. This isn't about pretending it didn't hurt. It's about choosing not to let that pain lead your life. Einstein may have discovered the laws of the universe, but here, he revealed something just as powerful. The laws of inner peace. Albert Einstein's words may seem simple at first glance, but behind them is a deep understanding of how we as human beings carry pain, and how we often choose to respond from that pain rather than from wisdom. Let's break it down, not from a place of theory, but from a place of real life. Weak people revenge. We've all been there, hurt, humiliated, misunderstood, and in that heat of emotion, revenge feels like justice. It feels like taking back control. But the truth is, revenge doesn't make us powerful. It makes us prisoners. When we seek to hurt those who hurt us, we tie our identity to them. We say, "You still have the power to shape how I act." Revenge is reactive. It doesn't heal. It repeats. And it keeps us cycling through the same pain, again and again. Strong people forgive. Now, this is where the real work begins. Forgiveness isn't about saying what happened was okay. It's not forgetting. It's not excusing. It's choosing to stop carrying what was never yours to hold forever. Forgiveness is strength because it asks you to do what your pride resists. To let go. Not for them. For you. For your health. Your peace. Your freedom. And that kind of strength isn't loud. It's quiet. Mature. Peaceful. It whispers, "I choose not to be ruled by this anymore." Intelligent people ignore. This is the most misunderstood part of the quote. Ignore. Really? Einstein didn't mean pretending things didn't happen. He meant discernment. He meant the wisdom to recognize what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Some people are not fighting you. They're fighting themselves. Their past, their insecurities, their shadows. And if you jump into every argument, every insult, every moment of drama, you'll drown in noise that was never meant for you in the first place. There's deep intelligence in choosing your silence, in walking away not because you lost, but because it's not your battle to win. It's saying, "I value my peace and more than this fight." So, what Einstein is really giving us here is a ladder. At the bottom, we react with anger. In the middle, we rise with grace. At the top, we transcend with clarity and calm. And And the higher we climb, the freer we become. So how do we actually live this quote? Because it's one thing to hear, forgive, ignore, be wise. But when your heart is aching, when someone's words keep echoing in your mind, when you're exhausted from being misunderstood or mistreated, what then? Let's look at some real-life situations where this wisdom can guide you toward peace, not just survival. 1. When someone betrays your trust, maybe it's a friend who talked behind your back, a partner who lied, a family member who broke a promise you were counting on. Your first instinct might be to confront, accuse, or even cut them off out of anger. But here's where Einstein's ladder comes in. The revenge response. You ghost them. Talk badly about them. Try to make them feel what you felt. But that just creates more drama, more pain, and you stay stuck in it. The forgiveness response. You take a breath. You feel the pain fully, and then you choose to let go of the bitterness, not to make them feel better, but to set yourself free. The intelligent response. After forgiving in your heart, you might decide not to re-engage. You create distance without war. You stop giving energy to what doesn't nourish you. You move on with peace and dignity, quietly, intentionally. 2. When you're disrespected or underestimated, maybe at work, maybe in your own home, you're overlooked, interrupted, dismissed, and it hurts. You want to prove them wrong. You want to scream, I matter. But here's the shift. You don't need to fight to prove your worth to someone who's blind to it. You can let your actions, your growth, your silence speak louder than your defense. Intelligent people know that sometimes the most powerful move is to say nothing and keep rising. 3. When your own thoughts start attacking you, not every battle comes from others. Sometimes it's internal. Your past regrets, your fears, your critical inner voice. And in those moments, it's easy to become your own enemy. But Einstein's quote still applies. Don't take revenge on yourself for the mistakes you made. Forgive yourself deeply, patiently, fully. And most importantly, ignore the voice that tells you you'll never change. Because it's lying. You are changing. Every time you choose healing over revenge. Every time you choose peace over proving a point. Every time you choose to protect your energy instead of winning an argument. 4. When life doesn't go the way you planned. Unexpected job loss. A relationship ending. Health issues. The kind of disappointments that shake the ground beneath you. In these moments, it's tempting to look for someone to blame, to be angry at people, at yourself, at God. But strength comes when you pause and ask, what is mine to hold, and what is mine to release? Revenge only wastes time. Forgiveness opens space. And wisdom says, I may not have control over what happened, but I have full control over how I grow from it. Let this quote be more than just something wise you heard. Let it be a tool you reach for in the messiness of everyday life. A guidepost, a compass, a quiet voice that reminds you, not everything deserves your energy. Some things deserve your release. Let me tell you about a man named Daniel. Daniel is 52. He works in finance, wears a wedding ring, has 2 grown kids. From the outside, everything looks fine, normal. But inside, Daniel's been carrying a storm for years. It started when his best friend, a man he'd known since college, someone who was like a brother, betrayed him. There was a business deal, money involved, promises made, trust shattered. One day, Daniel opened his email, and there it was, legal papers. His friend had gone behind his back and filed a lawsuit, stealing both the deal and the future they had built together. Daniel couldn't breathe. He didn't sleep for 3 nights. He ran through every conversation in his head, every text, every sign he might have missed. He wasn't just angry. He was broken. The pain turned into rage. He planned his response. He collected proof. He wrote long, bitter letters in his mind, things he would never send. But oh, he wanted to. He imagined confronting him in public. He wanted justice, apology, humiliation. But nothing came, just silence. And that silence became heavier than the betrayal itself. One night, while Daniel was alone in the kitchen, long after his wife had gone to bed, he sat there with a glass of water, staring into nothing. His face was tight. His chest ached. His hands were clenched. He whispered to himself, "I can't carry this anymore." Not because he stopped hurting, not because what happened was okay, but because he realized this man had stolen enough from him. His money, his trust, his time. But now he was also stealing his peace. And only Daniel could stop that. So Daniel made a decision. He didn't call, didn't scream, didn't post online. He forgave, not out of weakness, but out of sheer exhaustion and wisdom. He didn't write back. He moved on. He rebuilt, quietly, stronger. Years passed. One morning, while walking through a park near his office, Daniel saw his old friend, older now, thinner, tired. Their eyes met. There was no anger, no coldness, just a calm, steady peace in Daniel's heart. Because in that moment, Daniel knew he had won. Not the case, not the argument, but something far greater, his freedom. He had climbed Einstein's ladder, from the urge for revenge, to the grace of forgiveness, to the wisdom of letting go. And nothing, not even betrayal, could touch that kind of peace. What Albert Einstein offered us in that simple quote isn't just advice, it's a quiet invitation to live differently, to choose peace in a world that constantly asks us to fight. Let's read it once more. Weak people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. He wasn't pointing fingers. He wasn't labeling people. He was naming the paths available to us every single day. You don't have to become bitter to protect yourself. You don't have to keep rehearsing what they did to you. You don't have to win the argument to prove your worth. You can choose silence without being passive. You can choose forgiveness without forgetting your strength. You can choose peace, not because they deserve it, but because you do. That's the deepest form of intelligence, knowing when to speak and when to walk away, knowing that some battles steal more than they solve, knowing that your energy is sacred, and not everything deserves a place inside your mind. We all get wounded, we all get betrayed, but not everyone chooses to rise from it. You can. You don't need revenge. You don't need their apology. You don't even need to be understood by them. What you need is to be at peace with yourself. And that peace begins the moment you decide that your inner world is more important than their noise. Let them talk. Let them leave. Let them misunderstand you. You breathe. You heal. You rise. Silently. Beautifully. Intelligently. If something in this message spoke to you today, if it reminded you of a situation, a person, or a pain you've been holding on to, take a moment. Breathe. Place your hand on your heart, and gently ask yourself, is it time to let go? Not to forget, not to deny, but to stop carrying the weight of something that no longer serves your peace. If you felt seen in these words, I invite you to leave a comment below. Tell me what part of this reflection stayed with you. What did it remind you of? What are you ready to release? And if you think someone you love might need to hear this, a friend going through something hard, someone who keeps giving their energy to the wrong people, please share this video with them. You never know what kind of healing one small message can bring. And if you want more moments like this, more gentle reminders, more wisdom, more soul-deep peace, subscribe to this channel, not just to watch more videos, but to walk this path together, with more stillness, more strength, and more space for the life you truly deserve. You're not alone in this. You're healing, you're growing, and even in silence, you're becoming powerful in ways the world may never fully see. But your heart will always know. Thank you for being here.